Hello and Assalamualaikum. My name is Akmal bin Nizam. Flash flood were reported to have occurred in Kuala Lumpur. Due to heavy rains, the Malaysian Highway Authority informed that the flash flood affected several roads. The Malaysian Meteorological Department issued a thunderstorm warning with a heavy rain and strong wind expected to occur in Selangor involving certain areas due to the transition of climate change in Malaysia. Flash flood may occur as a result of levee or dam break or mudslide. How soon a flash flood may occur is determined by several indicators. Flash flood happens so quickly that people are unprepared. So our group has been given a project to build a new highway infrastructure project tender in Kuala Lumpur. We are responsible for developing a list of indicators and concepts to ensure this project a success. The Sustainable Development Goal or SDGs can be reached in this project by making adjustment to the flash flood issue. The SDGs commonly refer as a global goal were established as a global call action to guarantee that by the year of 2030, peace and prosperity will be experienced by all.
Hi, my name is Amirul Haziq. I will be presenting to you about highway infrastructure innovation. First of all, the indicator is the low infiltration of road. The definition of infiltration is the flow of the water from above the ground that can get into the surface. One of the factors of the flooding is when the heavy rainfall on the ground, the water can't seep through the road and get into the soil. The innovation for the indicator is by using pervious concrete. Pervious concrete is categorized as an advanced type of concrete because it can absorb more rainwater at a higher rate than normal impermeable pavement. The water can pass directly through the pervious concrete and reducing any water runoff. The water can also be stored in a tank for later use or directly to groundwater recharge. The Sustainable Development Goals that we want to achieve is the sixth, which is clean water and sanitation. By using pervious concrete, it can act as a natural filter. The water can be safely consumed by people. So by the end of 2030, we can achieve the goal for a sustainable water and cleaner water for user. My second indicator is small drain. Overflow will more likely to happen because of the small capacity that can hold the rainwater. The innovation chosen for this indicator is that we widen and deepen the drain. The rainwater can be directed to storage or the river. Diversion canals are also built throughout the year of urbanization to avoid any runoff. The Sustainable Development Goals that we want to achieve is number 13, climate action. Drainage must be widened and deepened with attempts to incorporate disaster risk management, natural resource management, and human security into national development goals.
Hi and Assalamualaikum to Madam Fatin and my fellow classmates. My name is Nazira and I will begin my presentation now. The third innovation that we made on the highway is installing a detention tank beneath the road. The detention tank will decrease the overflow drain or pathways. Stormwater will move along the pathway to reach a centralized detention tank or other bodies of water such as rivers or reservoirs. The drainage is enlarged and will be deepened to let the rainwater flow swiftly into the detention tanks or reservoirs and away from the developed areas. The construction of a detention tank falls within the 11 goals of the Sustainable Development Goals, which is SDG, which focus on making the sustainable cities and communities. Creating secure highways is essential in making the cities viable, and one of the measures to make a route or pathway or highway is free from the flash flood is to build the detention tank beneath the road. Furthermore, less presence of trees near the highway will cause flood or inundation. Planting more trees near the drainage system will fix the problem. And when there are more trees, it will absorb more water, which is better than turf grass. The tree's roots are also essential. As the tree roots develop, they will produce little passageways in the soil, and water will rush through those roots and then straight into the river when it rains. The 15 goals, which is life on land, of the Sustainable Development Goals, which is SDG, might be related to this issue. The objective stated that we human need to depend equally on the earth and the ocean for our livelihood. We get 80% of nutrition from plants, and a third of the earth's surface is covered by forests, which is vital for preventing climate change and being home to millions of species and significant clean air and water sources. While drylands continue to deteriorate and lost million hectares of forest yearly, and land have become desert.
Our drainage system is poor and cannot accommodate the excess stormwater runoff when heavy rain happens. Rubbish also can be clogged in the drainage because of the narrow drainage. Blocked drain will have a lot of negative impacts to the highway and nearby areas. To solve the problem, we need to widen and deepen the drainage system to accommodate more water when heavy rain occurs. By doing this, we can avoid water from stagnant on the road and cause the flash floods. The accommodated water then can flow smoothly to the nearby stormwater system. Not to mention, by widening and deepening the drainage, we can avoid the soil erosion at the highway where the soil can clog the drainage.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Tengku Zawani Afifi Binti Tengku Zaihan, and now I will present part sub-criteria of environmental and water management. Number 2, which is stormwater runoff quantity, and number 3, which is stormwater runoff quality. An OST, also known as an on-site stormwater detention tank, is a device used to temporarily store stormwater on-site before slowly releasing it into the stormwater system. Emphasis must be addressed to the fact that an on-site detention tank should simply restrict the flow and not store water for later usage. Installing stormwater detention tanks is necessary to stop runoff from putting more strain on the drainage infrastructure already in place and to stop runoff from causing flooding downstream. To ensure that the stormwater system can manage the extended runoff, it must also be able to control the rate of water release. By installing a detention tank underneath the road, it can increase the stormwater runoff quantity collected so that it doesn't accumulate on the road surfaces. Concentrating on previous concrete, the basic arrangement of composition mostly incorporates the aggregate's characteristics such as its size of about 8 mm and the absence of sand to leave the spaces between the grains empty. There is little to no slump in previous concrete mixtures, which defines their consistency, and this essential quality results from the low cement paste percentage, which only permits a thin layer to be created to coat the aggregate. The aggregates must be coated with a high viscosity paste that will not drain down. As we can see, the surface layer provides 15% to 25% voids, and the subbase provides 20% to 40% voids.
My topic is about ecosystem protection and preservation. Human life depends on the earth as much as the ocean for our sustenance and livelihoods. From this statement, we can relate with our highway problem, which is flooding that often occurs on the road. It is because along the drainage on the road there is a lack of tree that can help absorb excess water from rain. Because of that, we think that adding more tree close to the drainage is the solution. Trees serve a significant function in the watershed of our ecosystem and prevent rainwater from entering storm drains. A watershed is a patch of land that collects water before it travels through streams, rivers, lakes, and eventually to the sea. Trees will absorb a considerable portion of the rainfall after a period of soft rain or flash flooding, minimizing the harm to the ecosystem. Then rather than at all once, This tree will gradually release water back into the land and atmosphere. Trees can both push water down through their roots to filter out dangerous impurities before it enters out groundwater and absorb it through their leaf, which release it into the air as oxygen and water vapor.
To conclude, engineers are involved at every stage of managing natural disaster. Engineers play a critical role in flood preventing even before a storm occurs. When floods do occur, they help manage future flood planning by keeping an eye on dam level and assessing infrastructure afterward. A wide range of disciplines and sub-disciplines make up the engineering field. The success of this project depends on the involvement of numerous engineering disciplines. The main sub-disciplines involved in our project are environmental engineering. They do this through preventing, reducing or eliminating environmental risks such as air, water and land pollution. Next is structural engineer. Structural engineer must be involved in the construction of a safe and practical motorway. It is a duty of transportation engineer to supply businesses with the transportation system. After that, the use of water, particular flood management and protection is one of the water resource engineer key responsibility. Last and not least, to ensure that a functional highway is durable, flood-proof and environmental friendly, the material used in this construction is crucial, material engineer responsibility. So we can conclude that every sub-discipline is a must so that this project can be successful. Okay, that's all. Thank you.